I have never lost a staring contest. Hold on. You ready? Go. You win this round. What's going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, King of Games here. And today, we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. Is my hair's, oh, well, it looks like we're just going to let it down then. Now, for the past few months, I've been giving you guys a video on tech cards that will win you games. I've been talking about some really good Yu-Gi-Oh techs that are extremely powerful in today's Yu-Gi-Oh format. But it only feels right if there are new and powerful cards that are coming out that you could use to win games. There are definitely some cards that you are probably playing that will lose you games. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down some popular Yu-Gi-Oh cards that players are playing that just are not good right now. I'm not saying that these cards are straight bad. I'm saying that right now is not the time to play them. And of course, I'm going to be giving you a reason why. So of course, if you want to see more videos like this, then make sure to destroy that subscribe button, but also be sure to destroy that like button as well, because I mean, let's just try to get to 1,000 likes. It lets me know that I'm doing a decent job, especially since everything's destroyed. I gotta stop doing that. I also want you to post down below in the comment section, what is your experience with some of these particular cards? It can go a long way from just listening to me to just listening to other people as well as me on why you shouldn't play these cards. Or should play these cards, because I mean, like, some of them could work for you. Now, the first card that is just no longer good is a combo duo sequel. Last week, I made a top tier hand traps video. If you guys want to see what are the best hand traps to use this format, then go ahead and check on that video. But these two particular cards really stood out as cards that players are playing and just aren't good. While Effect Veiler does allow you to discard this card from your hand to target a face-up monster your opponent controls to negate its effect, Infinite Impermanence allows you to target a face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field, and you also get to negate it. It's a reason why I grouped these two together. Now, the reason why these cards just aren't as powerful as they once were is because there are a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh monster effects right now that activate and resolve in the hand. Let's take, for example, some really popular Yu-Gi-Oh strategies right now in Virtual World and Dragoon. We normally are used to some of the most important cards in our opponent's Yu-Gi-Oh deck being a monster that needs to resolve face up, but unfortunately, since cards like Drytron Alpha and Virtual World Mayhem Lulu all activate in their hand, Infinite Impermanence and Effect Veiler are cards that just can't touch them. Also, when you even look at some of the boss monsters, Vanity's Ruler, that doesn't work for that doesn't work for Effect Veiler. Infinite Impermanence does feel a little bit more powerful as it can hit cards like Zodiac Trident as well as Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, but cards like True King of All Calamities, players have gotten a lot smarter as they'll wait till you commit your card and then they'll activate that Calamities effect. And if you shotgun your Infinite Impermanence, they'll just activate Calamities effect. Unfortunately, for this current Yu-Gi-Oh card game, there are far superior options than Infinite Impermanence and Effect Veiler, and of course I do have a hand trap video if you are trying to see which are those hand traps. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. This particular card was seen as one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now it exists. It's not completely bad, but it exists. Apollousa, Bow of the Goddess, or Goddess of the Bow, I don't know which one it is at this point in time, requires at least 2 non-tokens to summon, and it has a pretty good effect. This card gains attack for however many monsters that you've used for its link summon, and you can reduce the attack of Apollousa to be able to negate an effect monster's effect. Now, Apollousa does feel like an amazing Yu-Gi-Oh card still. Anytime you can negate monster effects feels really good, until you realize that players play other card effects too. The fact that the Yu-Gi-Oh card game is so balanced now, players are playing more traps than ever. There's less combo heavy decks, meaning that strategies are a lot less monster effect heavy. This is where Apollousa really has its downfall, due to the fact that there are some really good spells, really good traps, and monsters that just don't care about Apollousa. This card is not the behemoth that it used to be. So a lot of times summoning a 3200 attack Apollousa, Bow of the Goddess normally gets ruined the next monster you summon and Torrential Tribute happens. And then you realize Apollousa can't negate trap cards. Now, of course, our favorite bow isn't completely useless, but I do think that it's kind of crazy how this card was $110 at one point in time and was a mainstay in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame to like an afterthought. Top decks don't even play it. Now, if there was a card that everyone is up in arms about, it has to be Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is a 3000 attack monster. I don't understand why they call it a Dragoon, and it's a spellcaster, but okay. That allows you to destroy monsters on your opponent's side of the field equal to the number of normal monster you use for its summon and inflict damage to your opponent. Also, when your opponent activates a card effect, you can discard one card from your hand, negate the activation, destroy it, and give Red Eye's Dark Dragoon 1000 attack. This card can't be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, so cards like Torrential Tribute and Needle Sealing, really popular in today's format, can't even touch it. But the true problem with Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is that it just is not as powerful as people like to say it is. Yes, Red Eye's Dark Dragoon does provide non-targeting and non-destruction, and it is banned on the OCG, but this card has not made the impact that it has made in the OCG inside of the TCG. Not only are there cards like Triple Tactics Talent, Ice Dragon's Prison, and Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, which can out Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, just about every single competitive deck is at least running one of these cards inside of their main board. It's not really good for our favorite Red Eyes monster right now. Red Eye's Dark Dragoon also essentially forces you to play 3 brick cards in the Dark Magician Red Eyes and Red Eyes Fusion, as well as clogs up 2 cards in your extra deck space, which is really important at this point in time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just to be able to summon this monster to your side of the field. Now, I'm going to do some math for you. If you just so happen to play 3 of 1 card inside of your deck, the odds of you opening that is 34%. You play at least 3 bricks inside of your main deck. Let that sink in. You literally play 3 bricks inside of your main deck. So if you are a little frustrated about opening a Red Eyes Dark Magician or Red Eyes Fusion into your opening hands a lot of times, this kind of explains it. Not to mention the other type of bricks you have to play into your deck just to make Red Eye's Dark Dragoon optimal. It really feels like this card has a lot going against it. The crazy thing about this card is that a lot of players, including myself, really complain that this card probably should be banned, and it probably should in a combo-based format. But in a control format where back row disruption is prevalent and the fact that monster effects aren't as important, cards like Mystic Mine have definitely lost its luster. Now, what Mystic Mine does is if your opponent has more monsters than you, they can't activate monster effects and attack. If you have more monsters than your opponent, then you can't activate any monster effects or attack. Also, if you guys have the same number of monsters, this card is destroyed during the end phase. Who would have thought a card just so simple is so busted, but not good right now? With control decks taking a huge portion of the meta, players are opting to run cards like Twin Twisters, Cosmic Cyclone, and Harpy's Feather Duster. These cards were not so prevalent inside of a combo meta, so more often than not, if you're activating Mystic Mine, it is a card that is bound to get destroyed. To make Mystic Mine a little worse on top of that, a lot of decks are only summoning 1 monster anyways. We're past the era of summoning multiple monsters to your side of the field to overwhelm them on turn 1. Nowadays, 1 monster will do. There are also cards like Conquistador for Eldritch, which allows you to destroy the Mystic Mine, and Virtual World Chuchi, which can destroy the Mystic Mine. This card just isn't as amazing as it was last format, because let's be honest, if you play Mystic Mine, there's some choice words that people would probably want me to say to you that I can't even say on YouTube. One thing I do want to say is that Mystic Mine isn't a completely bad card, but it's definitely nowhere near as good as it used to be. And the last card I want to talk to you guys about is Dark Ruler No More, for almost the exact same reason why some of these other cards aren't good. I don't want to keep drilling it out there, but we are in a format where back row pretty much reigns supreme over monster effects. You're not going to face a ton of boards where opponents just going to splash out a whole bunch of monsters where Dark Ruler No More would be useful. And seeing that the strength is in this format is in the traps that you can activate, Dark Ruler No More has no place, activating. It's not too many monster effects you can negate. One thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that even when you do think that this card is good, it's okay at best. If you just so happen to activate Dark Ruler No More, let's say against a Virtual Ward board, what they could do is activate their effect of their face down Chuchi and then chain the calamities to the Chuchi. They don't even got to destroy anything. It's Dark Ruler No More says you can't respond monster effects They just responded a trap to it and then a monster effect to the trap. Well, that is all for the cards that I have that you probably should be avoiding. These cards aren't bad Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but not good going against some of the top meta decks. Of course, I want you to post down below in the comment section, what are your experience with these cards against some of the better decks of the format? And also, what are some cards that you probably think are really, really underrated? Don't forget to also destroy that like button if you want to see more content like this, as well as check out these other awesome videos, as I'll be able to catch you on the next one.